Very Merry Christmas to everyone gathered here today. I welcome you all with great honor and privilege on behalf of the worldwide Global Unitalks family to this year's final competition, the Global Unitalks Youth Speech Competition 2021 Youth Power. Before we begin the ceremony's occasion, I would like to quote the famous sociologist Elise M. Boulding: when the three generations are present in a family, one of them is bound to be revolutionary. So, can you guess what the topic for this competition is? Let me just tell you. Drum rolls, please. It's the role of Generation Z in the 21st century. Quite exquisite topic, in my opinion. Being part of this generation myself, I'm pretty excited to hear all the contestants' views and opinions on how we can improve this world, change it for the better, and find solutions to our own problems. Now, let me invite you, the opening speaker, Mr. Dhyan Barua, the Global Unitalks Brand Ambassador of Canada, to open the ceremonious occasion.
Thank you, Mahashamshi. Welcome to Global Unitalks Global Youth Speech Competition. Distinguished young jury members, Professor Wallace, the founder of Global Unitalks, Professor Diana, our mentor, the brilliant participants of this event, and our wonderful audience members. In any economy, it is the youth that provides for the bulk of the workforce. It is the youth that comes up with solutions to age-old issues that plague society. It is the youth that have the energy and enthusiasm to overcome insurmountable challenges. And surely enough, it is the youth that have gathered here today to partake in this glorious event. Aged between 16 and 22, these students have come today with the intention to shower us with their vast wealth of ideas and perspectives on their own generation, Generation Z. Our honorable young international jury members will provide them with advice and guidance to improve on their public speaking skills and will help them throughout this competition. All of the participants have put in tremendous effort and research into their preparations, and I wholeheartedly believe that they will not disappoint. The world rests on your shoulders, Generation Z. Global Unitalks has provided this wonderful platform for all of you, and it's time to prove your worth to the world. Hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, for in the next few hours, these young champions will leave you spellbound and captivated throughout the competition. Good luck to all present here, and back to you, Shamshi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dhyan, for the beautiful speech. You have given us ease to begin this competition. Now, with great enthusiasm, let me take this opportunity to introduce Professor Wallace to you. Other than the founder of Global Unitalks, he is also the director of Silk Road Associations, a non-profit organization supporting the initiative of Belt and Road across the globe. Professor Wallace made students' organization in 179 countries and regions in 6 continents, rejuvenating the youths of Silk Road countries throughout various educational programs, youth-to-youth connect, and cultural exchanges. We witness today the fruits of his tireless efforts. Professor Wallace is also a renowned academician and a vice president of the leading Asian universities and a foreign expert in several countries. He wrote several books and research papers in the field of academic writing and in the science of critical thinking and creativity. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you, lovely host. Dear Honorable Guest of Honor, Global Unitalks International Juries Panel, Global Unitalks Worldwide Family, speakers of today's competition, and lovely audience and students. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to all of you who assembled here today from various regions of the world. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Today is the last competition of Global Unitalks for 2021. I feel very privileged and honored to stand here in front of you all to acknowledge the achievements of our brilliant Global Unitalks speakers. They have made Global Unitalks Worldwide Family proud, their educational institutions proud, their parents and friends proud. Global Unitalks supports One Belt, One Road initiative, which is for the global good and believes in its future benefit to the humanity. I'm also glad to inform you that in the year 2021, Global Unitalks has successfully held various prestigious, globally recognized, accredited international competitions. To name few, Global Unitalks Speaker of the Month speech competitions, World Speech Day International Speech Competition, Global Youth Day International Speech Competition, Belt and Road International English Speaking Competition, United Nations COP15 International Speech Competition, International Debate Competition, and today Youth Power Speech Competition, which is one of the very last event of this year, but very remarkable. This year was significant to us as our speakers have bagged several globally recognized awards and recognitions. This year, the Global Champions Trophy and many first and second prize were won by Global Unitalk speakers in various international competition worldwide. Global Unitalk speaker in 2021 has bagged Global Champion Award, second runner-up award from China Daily, organized by Belt and Road International English Speaking Competition 2021 and 21st Century Cup. Global Unitalk speaker also won second and third prize in United Nations COP15 International Speech Competition in 2021. And not only this, they also got first and second prize in the World Speech Day International Speech Competition. So this year, our international juries and mentor also received the Excellent Mentor Awards from various international bodies for their contribution to regenerate, teach, mentor these excellent speakers and talent. They were always the soul and driving force of Global Unitalks for decades. We could not reach so far without them. Special thanks for Professor Amelia Murphy, Chairman of Global Unitalks International English Speaking Competition. Also, special thanks to Professor Quinn Awar, Chairman, International Jury Panel, Global Unitalks International Debate Competition. Professor Diana, the Vice President, academic, and mentor of Global Unitalks. Very special thank. Without her, these prizes and accolades won by these students were not possible. Mr. Victor, international jury, and all the other jury panels of Global Unitalks. In 2021, Global Unitalk has outreached 179 countries and regions across the globe. I'm proud to announce that we continued to be the world's largest platform in the world in 2021 as well. It's all due to the hard work and students and mentors' dedication. A truly global student community. Congratulations to the Global Unitalk worldwide family for this incredible success. I also wish to inform you that in 2021, Global Unitalks has got over 100,000 plus viewers, subscribers, followers, and audience, and have over 5,000 Unitalks family members around the world, making a truly a global family uniting the youth of Silk Road countries. We have our team in over 532 educational institutions in over 6 continents. Our team regularly holds speech and debate competition in these educational institutions and channelize the speaker to provide in global competition. I think this is something very, very remarkable done by Global Unitalks team worldwide. This year, Global Unitalks made collaboration with prestigious organizations like United Nations, China Daily, a media giant in Asia, Youth Power Channel, World Speech Day Global Alliance. Our speakers were also selected for the talk shows, vox pops in various TV serials and episodes across many countries, and then visible and make them completely visible in TV, newspaper, and social media worldwide. Global Unitalks speakers are now visible to more than 350 million audience worldwide in various TV channels and social media microblogs. Our speaker speeches are online, which has approximately having 61 million followers on Twitter, 53 million followers on Facebook, around 4.5 million followers on TikTok, 33 million followers on Bilibili, and around 6 million followers on Weibo and many other platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Reddit, WeChat, WhatsApp, including various regional social media handles in multiple countries. Global Unitalks competition in 2021 mainly focused on providing international recognition to the young talents who made an immense contribution to their learning curve. Today, we have gathered here to celebrate this year's achievements of Global Unitalks and validate and recognize our speakers' tireless efforts of learning and later professionally presenting enduring global competitions. I'm of a strong belief that excellence is what drives the world. I'm proud to say that our speakers have excelled despite the challenges, not because they were provided with everything they want, but because they came from ordinary and extraordinary adverse conditions and their determination has overcome all the obstacles. They have excelled because they have put their talent to good use. They have mastered the subject matter and never gave up. Today's speech topic is the Generation Z role in the 21st century. And I believe that this generation will remarkably change and make paradigm shift in the world. They have the capacity, courage, and determination. Generation Z has demonstrated during the pandemic that nothing can stop them from going forward in the last 2 years. They were born to bring change to this world. At this, we are saying that they are digital natives and internet generation. Global Unitalk is by the students, of the students, and for the students, and believe on equal opportunity to all without discrimination. In the year 2022, we will continue to bring thought-provoking topics for Generation Z, where they could express, deliberate their perspective, and share their ideas to the world. We'll continue to carry out our efforts to engage Silk Road youth and continue to rejuvenate them by creating a good learning environment and learning opportunities. In 2022, Global Unitalks will enhance more international educational collaboration and provide more international platforms for all of you to participate and shine to the future public speakers and the leaders of the world. Needless to say, soft skills, public speaking, and mind training are a must to make Generation Z movers and shakers. And for your future success, so Generation Z need to start developing and enhancing some of the key things in them. First, leadership qualities. Second, flexibility and adaptability. Third, critical thinking. Fourth, to be tech savvy. 5, develop art of communication. 6, creativity and innovation. And the 7, the most important, emotional intelligence. So IQ, EQ, and AQ, all 3 need to develop by Generation Z. On this note, I wish all Global Unitalks family Happy New Year, and everyone present here make a very beautiful 2022 for you. I would request hosts to start the competition now, and good luck to all the speakers. You come from some remote location, but you are here. It's your show time. Good luck, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Wallace, for that inspirational speech. It was quite heart-moving. Let us all witness now our first contestant who will set the tone and standard for this competition. Speaker one, the floor is yours.
Thank you, host. Oh, investing in cryptocurrency. No, we can't be immature like our children. We need to think a lot. What do they know? Making TikToks and playing PUBG. Hello, everyone. Respected international jury members, Honorable Professor Wallace and Professor Diana, and my family and friends. I welcome you all. So, above are the comments often heard by Gen Z, or I should say us. I won't say it's all wrong, but I remind you people, we all are dealing with one of the strongest and unique generation of history. As I say that, maybe I'm something else today and I'll be a completely different person tomorrow, because growing, changing, learning, defining, and adapting defines mine and my generation identity of constantly evolving. Generation Z is additionally known for being technically knowledgeable, be that as it may be. More than innovation, the individuals from this age have been molded by the emergency that we were naturally introduced to, like Great Recession, psychological oppression, and then the extremely late happening COVID-19 pandemic. These events have undoubtedly made us as a generation more cautious and pragmatic, but they have also provided the generation with the inspiration to change the world, and their realistic approach to life is going to allow them to do it. Generation Z is vastly different than other generation, but different doesn't have to be negative quality, right? It is very important to recognize that members of Gen Z are just not kids. They are kids who hold the power to make or break the companies in two ways, mostly employment and influence in 21st century. In coming time, there will be two most important things that they are going to lead the world. Those are business and technology. And Generation Z will be definitely the first rulers of this new shaped world. To illustrate these points, let's consider some of the today's most demand job, like mobile app developer, sustainability expert, user experience designer, etc. and etc. did not even exist 10 years ago, and now Kathy and Davidson, professor of English at Duke University, predicts in her book, now you see it, that 65% of children entering in school today will be working in a job that do not even currently exist. Generation Z is currently an unrecognized but most valuable asset to ongoing and upcoming world, to the industries and also to the world. Now, let's talk about influencing. If Generation Z has a good or bad experience with a company, they're not going to keep it with themselves. They're going to tell the world. They're going to share their thoughts via mobile, social media, internet, and perhaps even more significant than the Gen Z's online presence is over their parents. According to a recent study by Nickelodeon, more than ever before, kids are influencing family purchasing decisions in US. Around 71% of parents solicit and consider their kids' opinion while making purchases online or offline. With all the goods, there comes the bad. Each coin has two sides, and for being one of the top performers, Generation Z is paying a huge price. A recent study by the American Psychological Association found that the ability to manage the stress and achieve healthy lifestyle has been decreasing with each generation, and if the trend continues, Generation Z will be the most stressed out generation. But this is not surprising to me. Well, Generation Z has been always surrounded by the competition, be it parents, reality shows, social media, school. Everyone around them have taught them that it's all about competition. From finding talent to finding love, job, education is a fierce competition. And if you miss the beat, if you remain behind, you'll fail the competition for sure. And I believe while saying this, I'll be going little off the topic. But here comes the role of early millennials. Mostly those are the family members of the family member or the elders of Gen Z. They should be the one making them okay with not being okay, being considerate about their feeling and slowing down their heartbeats and feet and cherishing the moment present here. There needs to be the end of doom and gloom mentality surrounding the Gen Z. Focusing on Gen Z's flaws make it easy to overlook their strength, of which they have many. We have always been said or being reminded that we do not respect our culture, roots, and we are just running in a fast high-tech world. But here is a surprise, guys. Generation Z shares their generational DNA with their great grandparents and granddads. The silent generation that came in the age of the wake of World War II. Surprising, is it? How on earth can 21st century babies, digital native born with iPhones in their hands, and Gen Z or Gen X or whatever you call them, possibly have the same generational personality as the hardworking, patriotic, sensible, and loyal silent generation? Come on, let's compare. Silence was shaped by the Great Depression when millions of Americans lost their job. And we as a Gen Z has been shaped by Great Recession and also COVID-19. So we both learned about tight family budgets very early in their life, and we became very notorious savers. Generation Z and Silence both value making stuff like their great granddads, Zed's garden, bake, build, but the difference is they call it DIY or a maker movement. So these things make us resourceful, and this was the word often used for the Silence. The future looked bright to both of us. Silent have seen the depression of war and had come through it, and we are already seeing the COVID-19. And with this happening, we have the same resiliency as from the silent generation, a lack of cynicism and a lot of hopefulness, whose time has come once again. Hence, proved my last point that yes, we are moving ahead of time, playing various roles in 21st century, bringing new technology to the table and a lot more. But I promise we haven't forgotten our values and our culture. We are bringing back what our ancestors taught. We play a huge role in bringing our relations, value, learning more closer, and all in all, we are growing with new innovations and technology for sure, but without forgetting our roots and bringing all lost culture and native prosperity of our nations proudly. Here I sign off the stage with a warm note that with this happening, to remind you that with everything going on, we'll still shine like a star, and we'll just not speak but stand up and put our words into action, and we'll carry each and everything we have forward. Cheers to Gen Z. Thank you so much, everyone. Happy New Year and a Merry Christmas. My journey with Global Unitalks had been wonderful. I had been passionate about my debate speaking skills from my school time only. And after I found this platform, I improved a lot. I have polished my skill a lot. I'd like to thank both our international jury members, Mr. Nadi and Mr. Hilary, for being here, for taking out their precious time and improving us. And then I would like to thank Professor Wallace and Professor Diana for being such a wonderful mentor to me and always tolerating and correcting my mistake, helping me out to bring this from me. Last but not least, I'd like to thank all my audience, my family and friends. Special thanks to my parents who have been always who always supported me, and then a big thank you to few of my relatives, Mr. Yogesh Somansi, Mrs. Nidhi Singh, Mr. Abhishek Singh, and Mr. Shah. Thank you so much for being constant with me throughout my journey. Thank you all, and once again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, speaker number one, for that phenomenal speech. I loved every bit of it, and you keep outshining yourself every time you speak on this platform. Now, I want to call upon Ms. Donadi for asking a question related to your topic.
Thank you. And wonderful speech, speaker number one, very inspiring. And when you talk about the role of millennials, so what do you think that us as Generation Z could learn from the millennials and all the other previous generation and include in our behavior patterns?
Thank you. First of all, hello, international jury. Thank you so much for your question. That question was wonderful. So you asked me that what we should learn from early millennials and from the generation that is coming before them. I already mentioned in my speech that we are day by day, we are getting more stressed. We are running behind everything. We are thinking that whether education, whether love, whether jobs, everything is a competition. We need to calm down a bit. We we need to learn from that it's okay for not being okay. We can sit and understand the situation and then work on it. We need not to be stressed about everything so much. First thing, that do not stress about everything so much, or one day we'll blast. And with increasing case of anxiety, depression, suicide, I am very worried about my generation, that this phenomena or this pattern was not much seen in early millennials and the generation before them, like silence and all. But with the time going on, depression, anxiety, and everything is just increasing. So I would like to suggest and advise all my generation that we need to calm down a bit. We need not to be running about everything. We need to stop and learn things, and we need to learn from situation and then improve more better. There is nothing we can't learn. We can learn everything. We just need to sit back and understand our faults and work on it. So that's it, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that answer. Over to you, host.
Thank you so much, National Jury. I would now like to call upon Ms. Hillary for asking a general question to our speaker.
Thank you so much, speaker number one. Your speech is really very insightful on how much that Gen Z can really create a difference in the world. That was really very, very insightful on the potential that we hold. My question to you is that while we tread along this path, what kind of philosophy should the Gen Z possess?
Thank you. Hello, international jury. Thank you for your question. I'm sorry, can you repeat your question? I lost you in between.
Oh, all right. In your speech, you talk about how much potential we have as the Gen Z and how much difference we can create, which shows how we are very passionate about creating robust change. As we tread along that path, what kind of philosophy should the Gen Z possess to achieve that?
Yeah. Thank you, international jury, for your question. So you asked me that what is the philosophy we as a Gen Z should follow so that we can create more and more difference in the world. So I suggest, as I ended my speech, so I said that rather of speaking, we should put our words into action. So first thing, for doing anything, get up and do for it. If you start, you'll be a leader. Everyone else will follow you back. First thing. Second thing, as a Gen Z, I already mentioned that we are technically knowledgeable. We have lots of innovations to do. We are working a lot on robots, metro train, and new technology, etc. and etc. But along with this, we need to carry forward our culture, our roots, our values, our beliefs. It's just not about it's just not about gaining money or fame or name or getting technologically advanced. We also need to value our cultures, like from where we belong, what are the prosperity from our natives. We should proudly put it in front, and we should also have a handshake with technology and our culture, value and roots, so that we can be technically ahead, and we can be from value wise, belief wise also ahead, and we will get one plus point if we follow the values and beliefs, and if we spend more time with our parents and great grands learning about their situation. So we'll be more calm and relaxed. We won't stress out much. We learn to live a life more better way, in a more calm and peaced way. Thank you so much, jury.
Thank you so much, speaker, for that very, very insightful answer. I'm sure with this philosophy, we will definitely achieve that true change. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Over to you, host.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hillary, for asking that wonderful question, and thank you to our speaker for that wonderful answer. I would now like to call upon Professor Wallace to ask questions from the audience.
Well, thank you so much, host. I have got a couple of questions, but I will pick up the one which is in front of me. How can you as a young person effectively go about conflict resolution when dealing with someone who's older than you? I mean, an elder generation.
Thank you, Professor. That was a very nice question. And I would also like to mention that this question, I guess this question comes in each one of us as a Generation Z, when we have to convince our parents or elders about something that they do not believe. I started my speech with some of the lines like, we do not want to invest in cryptocurrency because then we can't be immature like children. What do they know? They just know to play TikToks and play PUBG. But that's not all. Sometimes we need to make understand our parents and our elders in a better way that why we are doing this and why we want to this. And but while doing this, there should be always a appropriate manner. Whatever happens, they're our elders, they always want best for us. So what if you want to try to convince anyone, your elder or any parents, try to have appropriate behavior first of all, and then you do not need to, for convincing anyone, you do not need to raise your voice or go bad in talking terms or in explaining terms. Try to talk your parents or your elders in a better way, make them sit down and make them believe that why you're doing this, how you can do this. Also also explain them about the technologies and about how the world is doing, so that you can make them aware of the things which is right now going in the world. By making them aware about the situation in a more better way, they will be the part of your journey. So make your parents, your family members, your elders a part of your journey. Have a handshake with them, make them understand that yes, you are a part of me, we'll do this together, so they can be convinced in an easy way, in an appropriate behavior. And I guess we all can do that. Thank you, Professor.
Good answer. Thank you. Good luck. Now, before we go for a poll, I would like to mention that whoever is voting here can also vote on the social media channels of Global Unitalks. It could be YouTube, it's very live now at the moment, on Facebook and so on, so that we could understand what is your perspective and your feedback for these speakers. Thank you. Please go ahead, the host.
Thank you, Professor. Words are the powerful weapons that can make you or break you. And that's why we say, think before you speak, as it leaves a mark of you and your whole life on everyone else. Let's welcome our next speaker with wonderfully synchronized words and thought about the topic. Speaker number 2, all the best. Stage is yours.
Thank you very much, the international jury, Professor Diana, Professor Wallace, all the attendees. Good afternoon. When I was growing up, my mother used to tell me stories. And I remember one of the stories she told me in 2004. In 2004, my mother told me, well, when I was growing up, we had difficulties with communication. And yeah, she told me we couldn't access people even who are 5 miles away. Like she told me they had to send letters or messengers who were orators and had to travel or walk on foot for like 2-3 days to deliver the message, maybe a letter, or speak the message to the person supposed to get it. And well, people missed burying their loved ones, missed seeing their friends, and missed doing a lot together. But wow, here comes the Generation Z that is here to serve the world. It's here like a God-sent angel to fix certain issues the world is facing. Generation Z is here to fix inequalities and injustices the world is facing. And this is the generation that is here to solve inequalities, ask the questions the world have been asking before, but yeah, get to answer the questions. I have a classmate and she always tells me, I the way things are messed in the world. And wow, I always ask her, but why? And the answer she gives me, she's always like, I cannot see my mother being tormented every day, and then I expect to see the same when I grow up. She tells me she will be that kind of woman who will be courageous to take on opportunities, to stand firm, speak to the world, and well, everyone will have to listen to her. She always tells me she cannot see her father tell her mother to do certain things she's not supposed to do, and well, she has to do it. because she is mean, she's a mother, she's a female. But wow, Generation Z is not ready to be tormented. This is the generation that is connected, educated, sophisticated. And wow, with Generation Z, everything is going on well. I see elders around every time telling me they are not happy with my generation. The Generation Z is always online, they're always on social media looking for solutions. But wow, elders quote us like people who are doing nothing. But have you ever asked your question why Generation Z is always on media? Here are the answers. Generation Z wants to make friends. I'm a person who loves public speaking, and wow, I love it when I make a friend around the world. I feel very well when so this Generation Z the world. It's pragmatic, but also seeks for accelerated change. We have seen to solve issues associated with climate change. You see, with my generation, I'm wondering, I've been attending a leadership training online, and what comes in from the training? Wow, from the training, getting a certificate is not just getting it. You have to go into your community and give in. This is the generation that is going to talk but has to act. We are leaders. We hate politics. Generation Z hates politics because politicians just speak every time, but they can't act. But this is the generation, when you go for a leadership training, they're going to tell you, go to the community and do some communal work. I have learned with my generation, if I have to do something, let me say, I'm a leader at my school. You're going to do it just because I'm a leader, and then I'm going to watch you do it. In Africa, we've seen ministers go and sit in offices, then expect people to come and report to them. But wow, with Generation Z, we believe we have to go deep in the community and get to know what the challenges people are facing and act on them. That is Generation Z. It believes everything can seem impossible until it's done. And wow, this is the generation that has a short attention span. And anything not faced is in every way. We are ready to talk and speak, but also act. We are not ready to face a messed world. We are not ready to face global warming. And that is why when I see a plastic in my community, I have to pick it myself, not waiting for others to pick it for me. You know, John F. Kennedy quoted, don't ask what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. So before we blame anyone for the challenges we're meeting, or before we blame politicians or our leaders for what they failed to do, this is the generation that believes it can do it itself. If the president of my country is collapsed, then collapsion starts with me. If my teacher is collapsed, then collapsion starts with me. If my teacher, let me say, decides to do a certain thing for me, then do I have to accept it and then go blaming people that they are corrupt? No way. This is Generation Z ready to face the world. It's ready to solve everything the world is facing, and wow, we shall move. So as I conclude, my message to the world is, let us be the change we want to see. And I want to thank Global Unitalks family for the opportunity given to me. I want to thank the international jury, Professor Diana, Professor Wallace, and everyone. I want to thank the Ugandan community of Global Unitalks that has helped us come this far. You're so good to us, and I really can't thank you enough. May God bless you and have a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you so
Great
much,
job.
Speaker.
You definitely
Okay.
Yes, Mashamsi,
Great
please
job.
go
You
ahead.
definitely
Thank you so much, Speaker number 2, for that phenomenal speech. I absolutely loved how you expressed your opinions and your perspective. It was quite on point, and it was something that I could quite relate to. Now, let me call upon Mr. Just a second. Yeah, let me call upon Mr. Hillary to ask a question related to your topic.
All right. Thank you, Speaker, for that speech. It was really insightful to listen to how the youth and especially the Gen Z have got the power to be able to deal with the injustices in which they are faced. At the same time, you are telling us how exactly the Gen Z has been misunderstood by the elders and all these different agendas that they have. On this particular issue is my question. The Gen Z seems to be the most diverse generation we have had. How do you think we can ensure inclusivity amidst this diversity?
Sorry, I lost you. I don't know if you're still talking, but I lost you.
Okay, speaker number 2. I liked your speech. It was very insightful into a number of issues that the Gen Z is actually facing. And one of them, and one of the issues was about the Gen Z being actually misunderstood by their elders and all those who are and all those who listen to their ideas. My question to you is, the Gen Z seems to be the most diverse generation we have had. How can we ensure inclusivity amidst this diversity?
Thank you very much for that question. It is good. So my answer is, I think we need to cooperate with our parents or the general community, because I can tell you, we expect brands to play part. We don't think we can do it alone, so we expect brands to play part. And this is why I say the community has to be in and support us in whatever we do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, speaker number 2, for that amazing answer. It shows how we can still achieve inclusivity despite our divergent opinions, and we can still have harmony. Thank you for that good response. Over to you, host.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hillary, for that wonderful question. Thank you, Speaker number 2, for your wonderful answer. I want to call upon Ms. Denadi to ask a question.
Thank you, host. A wonderful speech, and I completely agree with you on the whole scenario of corruption and political corruption, and something that I think everybody here could agree on, and a great applause for that. With that said, let's move on to a general question. If you ever win a lottery, what would be the first thing that you would purchase?
Sorry, pardon?
Yeah, if you ever win a lottery ticket, what would be the first thing that you would purchase?
A what? Like which ticket?
Like, if you ever win a lottery ticket, what would be the first thing that you would buy?
Okay, well, I would buy a laptop.
Okay, what you will do with that laptop?
Okay, so basically right now I'm using a phone and I meet a lot of challenges. So because I love public speaking and communicate and connecting with the world, I would use my laptop to advance my speeches and, get connected the more. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that one answer. Yes, Professor.
Okay, so host, I will now give the question from the general audience. Let me pick up. And the question is, are you proud to be Generation Z, and why? Can you hear me, speaker number 2?
Yes, please, I can hear you. So thank you for that good question. And my answer is I'm very proud to be a Generation Z, because with my generation, we are connected to the whole world. And yeah, because of the connections we have seen, we are entrepreneurs, we are doing everything via internet and going to learn what others can do. And we are getting together to improve on our technology skills and the multitasking skills. So we are good entrepreneurs. And with entrepreneurship, the world is better. It's a better place to live in. Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you,
answer.
sir. Sorry, Professor, you were saying?
Yeah, thank you for the answer. Great.
Okay, moving on. Thank you so much, Speaker 2, for that absolutely amazing speech. I want to move on now to speaker number 3, because I want to hear more and more perspectives, because this is just getting interesting by the minute. I would now like to call upon speaker number 3 on this platform. So speaker number 3, the stage is yours.
First of all, I would like to welcome and thank all for attending this event. This means a lot to us as speakers and motivate us to perform even better. I would also like to welcome the young jury panel, Professor Diana and Professor Wallace. Especially, I would like to welcome other speakers who had already presented on previous Global Unitalk events and those who are, like me, present for the first time. Over the past few years in the media environment, Generation Z has become one of the highly debated topics. Lots of discussion have been held between Generation X, Millennials, and Generation Z on what is the role of Generation Z in the 21st century. Some say this generation is totally different from the previous one and is destined for enlightening achievements in science. Others, however, argue that Generation Z is only going to corrupt the world with the new technologies, since they have lost sense in how to use them properly. And these opinions take various forms, from extreme social movements to totally biased and subjective opinions. But we need to admit each of them has the right to be noticed and heard, since altogether they create the core truth about role of Generation Z in the 21st century. No one knows for sure what it is. At this point, some of the listeners may argue with my opinion, saying that it's impossible, that there wouldn't be a single person in the world who doesn't know it for sure. I can understand how disturbing my statement may sound. However, my words are not just my assumption or a vague paraphrase of Socrates' words, I know that I know nothing. My statement was created mathematics and was created after marrying the fact of existence of various opinions and the description of time in which we live. At first, I would like to start with a global description of the situation in our modern world, in order to later expand on why it matters and how it defines the role of Generation Z. 21st century is the time of the greatest both social and political turbulence of all times. For thousands of years, people have lived very slow-paced lives. In most cases, being born in one city, they stayed there all their lives, and the first they would travel is in the nearby city. This led to a person being always surrounded by the same people they have known since childhood. Or people in the past, the whole world was shrink to the size of their hometown. Nowadays, our home is expanded to the size of the whole world. We can travel from one hemisphere to another in less than a day, get to know and make friends with hundreds new people in a single meeting, learn information within minutes after it is. We live in a high-paced environment with millions and millions of things happening at this exact moment. All this creates highly turbulent time in which we live, and Generation Z are the people who were raised in the environment where every single thing can change at any given moment. This brings us to the mathematical proof of my statement. Turbulent time defines the fact that Generation Z is dependent on billions and billions of elements, some of which can be taken into account, while others are impossible to control or even predict. The example of coronavirus pandemic showed us how the modern world situation leaves no option for foreseeing everything or predicting even 1 or 2 years ahead. Role of Generation Z in the 21st century is indeed a subject for many controversies. But one thing I can say for sure, this generation is a true representative of the time we live in, utterly courageous and highly adaptable. Our lives and the purpose we seek in our lives are surely defined by the time and place we live in, and those change at crazy speed in the 21st century. It is unclear. Maybe our generation's goal will be to defend the pandemic and unite nations. Maybe it is to clean the planet and make it a better place. Or maybe it is to make technological revolution and send first people to Mars. It is impossible to say it for now, but I can say that historians in the far future will talk about Generation Z as the ones that have managed to thrive among the chaos and left a remarkable heritage to the future generations. I would like to end my speech with great thanks to the juries for coming to this event, Professor Diana and Professor Wallace for always supporting us throughout our way, from a mere idea of our speech till sharing our views with hundreds of people. It is my first encounter with Global Unitalk event, but I greatly appreciate this opportunity. Throughout my life, I have had many events where I could share my opinion, but there wouldn't be a single meeting like this, where I could communicate my opinion with so many people. Even though my journey with Global Unitalks is not long yet, but I want to thank all, without whom this event wouldn't be possible, and all those who gave us a chance to share our ideas with the whole world. You all help us on our journey to be able to convey our thoughts to the audience, who I always want to thank for coming and cheering us up. Thank you.
Host, you can take over now. Okay, now I will call upon Professor Diana.
What a wonderful.
You to give the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Hi, speaker number 3. How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
Merry Christmas to you. Good to see you.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
Okay, let me give you a question on your prepared topic. As you have mentioned a lot about the planet. So my question here is, as a Gen Z, what would you do to protect the planet?
First of all, thank you for the question. I, as an individual, first would like to change my daily habits. I do agree that sometimes I do not follow the rules that I try to convey to other people. For example, to use less plastic, to recycle. Sometimes I forget about it. And sometimes I really feel too lazy. That's why I would like to improve my daily habits. And also, I would like to motivate others without my example. For example, I would like to motivate my friends when we walk out together. And we, for example, don't recycle our plastic bottles, anything. I would tell them to do that. And not last but not least, we need to cooperate, not just with our friends, but with our people on this planet. I would like, in the far future, maybe if I will have enough money, power, time, I would like to make a company that would unite people against companies that do break the law For example, they put chemicals into the seas, oceans, rivers. Even I, as an individual, follow the rules. If companies break them, we cannot do anything. Fish, marine animals, everything will die. People will die. That's why I think it's not only important to follow the rules as individual, but to cooperate and to sponsor these opportunities of others. For example, I know many companies that do clear oceans, and I would like to sponsor them too. Thank you.
So now let me
Thank
call
you.
upon, thank you, Professor Dana. Thank you, speaker number 3. Now let me call upon Dinadi to give question to speaker number 3.
Very good job, speaker number 3. I really, really enjoyed your speech sitting here. Well, moving on to a general question. If you were ever put into a situation where you had to pick between love and money, what would you pick and why?
I would definitely pick luck, because with luck you can gain a lot of money, and with just money you can lose them all in one day. But I also think luck is more important because, for example, yes, I know you can share money. For example, if I get money, I would share them with other people who really deserve them. But with luck, I, for example, can invest my money in stocks or on any other thing and double them or triple, so that I would have more money to share with others and more opportunities to improve my ideas and support other business, support other people in their good intentions. That's why I would choose luck, definitely. Thank
Right,
you.
thank you very much for that great answer. Now over to the host.
Thank you, jury. Now let's call Professor Wallace for asking question from audience.
Yes, there's
Professor
several
Wallace, over to you.
questions. Thank you. There are several questions. Let me pick one. What job you'll be looking in future as Generation Z and why?
Definitely, I think I'll be looking for a job as entrepreneur. Let me explain why. First, because it allows me to bring to life my ideas. I have a lot to say to the world. I have a lot of ideas that I want to bring to life. But secondly, because my corporation would allow other people to have a job. I know nowadays the world faces a huge problem where people don't have enough jobs. Many people don't have enough salary to live a full life. And I think it's really important to pay a normal wage to the salaryman. That's why I would like to found a corporation that would follow my rules of moral, of how to treat people, right? And also that would allow me to bring my ideas to life. That's what.
Thank you, speaker. Back to host.
Oh, that was a job well done. We speak not only to tell people what we think, but tell ourselves what we think. Speech is a part of our thought by Olive Sacks, Seeing Voices. With this, let's listen to our next speaker and their wonderful thoughts about this topic. All the best, speaker number 4. Stage is yours.
Thank you, Abha. I first of all greet everyone present here and a very Merry Christmas to all of you. I always prefer the metro system while going somewhere. It's not out of some societal obligation. It's something about that technology involved in public transportation system that's quite fascinating. It's like a perfectly elegant puzzle that's solved by clever engineering design. How can we fit hundreds of people and get them all to their destinations? Maybe we use high-speed transit systems. Maybe we use magnetic levitation. Maybe we use mechanical engines. Little problems solved by some ingenuity that makes everyone's lives a little better. Coming from the Industrial Revolution, humanity's journey has always been about finding their way around these little problems. Sometimes it's about curing infectious diseases. Sometimes it's about distributing water across a city. Sometimes it's about finding ways to build towering buildings. Fast forward to the 21st century, and Generation Z just finds itself entangled between a plethora of these new problems. The void of ideas is where Gen Z must craft their role and fill the cracks of our society. Last year, the world faced the largest shortage of silicon chips. This resulted in the exponential growth of the prices of electronic devices and processing systems. Additionally, that same year, we also inched closer to the eventual end of Moore's Law. No more would we have glamorous tech expos where CEOs get to show off higher computing powers from their microprocessors. Stepping aside from the electronics scene, a recent study conducted by the IPCC states that currently the ice caps of Antarctica are melting 6 times faster than in the 1990s. And this could potentially leave around 400 million people affected by coastal floodings by the end of the century. This is where Gen Z must step in. If humanity is to step forward into a new technological era, our generation must produce specialists, scientists, and engineers that can meet this need for innovation and development. It's not all doom and gloom, however. This pandemic showed glimmers of hope that Generation Z can, in fact, meet these challenges. Within months of having our institutions, our schools, our colleges shut down due to quarantine, young computer scientists and software developers were able to shift our academic demands to various online platforms. Our tests, classes, homeworks, and assignments could now be undertaken through software applications on our smartphones or computer system, making sure that those millions of children across the globe didn't miss out on their education while staying in the relative safety of their homes, away from the virus. Stepping away from this pandemic, we are witnessing these brilliant tech startups from young college graduates that are coming up with incredible technologies, ranging from thought-controlled robotic prosthetics, drones capable of aiding disaster management teams in aiding victims and traversing dangerous environments, new composite ceramics that act as substitutes for fractured bones, and so many others. For me, these examples demonstrate that Gen Z can, in fact, address many, if not all, of these issues that hold back our society. Thank you. I thank Global Unitalks. I thank our mentor, Professor Diana, the founder of Global Unitalks, Professor Wallace. Every one of you has provided this wonderful platform, this wonderful opportunity for all of us to express our skills, our knowledge on various topics, on various issues. And I truly believe myself to be fortunate to be a member of Global Unitalks, and I'm really, really grateful. And I also extend my thanks to our wonderful audience members, our hosts, and obviously the participants. You guys have kept me on my toes, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Great job. Definitely raise the level of competition and use your talent in a wise manner by giving on-point matter and making all of us aware and considerate about situation. Fire on stage, my friend. Now, I'd like to invite our international jury, Ms. Diana, for asking topic-related question. Ms. Diana, over to you. Professor Diana?
Thank you. I got it, host. Thank you. Speaker number 4, how are you doing? A Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, Professor Diana. I'm doing great.
Good. Wow, you reminded me I should take a subway one time again, metro.
Yeah,
Good.
really exciting.
Yeah, I would do that during the holidays. Listening to your speech, I have a question on your prepared topic. Okay, as you have mentioned a lot of things in your speech about the changes and how we travel. So my question here is, what transportation do you think we will be having in 2050?
Okay. First of all, thank you for the question, Professor. About a transportation system that would be in 2050, a new innovation that comes to my mind is by a very famous and a very eccentric CEO by the name of Elon Musk, and a little thing he invented called Hyperloop. You see, Hyperloop has the ability to revolutionize public transportation systems because traditionally the fastest means of a railway system was called maglev. Maglev works on magnetic levitation. Basically, it's two magnets with the same poles that oppose each other. As such, the device floats on air and it has no friction with the tracks. That's why it can go fast. But the problem with maglev systems is obviously because it's going so fast, it comes across a lot of air resistance. Air, as you know, is a real tangible thing. It has atoms and obviously it causes resistance. And the way Hyperloop goes around this problem is by introducing something called pressurized tubes. These are tubes where the not atmospheric pressure, the pressure inside these tubes is reduced to nearly zero. And that greatly decreases air resistance, and therefore the Hyperloop can go really fast. And I believe that that would revolutionize transportation systems, at least by 2050.
Thank you, Speaker 4.
Thank you, Professor.
Back to host.
Next in a thank you, Professor. Next in a row, I'd like to call Ms. Danadi for asking general question.
Wonderful and very, very interesting and factual speech, I should say. With that said, now climate change is becoming a huge issue in the world right now. And what could we as Gen Z do on a daily basis to reduce the effects of climate change or to solve the problem of climate change?
Okay. Firstly, thank you for the question. That's obviously a really important issue right now and deserves to be addressed. As the former speaker 3 said, we should be changing a lot of our daily habits to accommodate ourselves to this new environment. As such, we should be recycling our plastic bags and anything that uses polymers basically to reduce the consumption and reduce our carbon footprint. And secondly, a new phenomenon that Generation Z invented is called veganism. You see, veganism is a sort of an ideology, I suppose you could say it, where people prevent themselves from consuming too much meat and too much dairy products, because as you know, a lot of these companies are hoarding these animals and they produce a lot of CO2 emissions, and there's a huge carbon footprint that comes from these animals, these factories. And I believe as Gen Z members, as a daily habit, we can adopt or at least accommodate veganism in our diets to a certain extent for the betterment of our environment. And also we should be using these internet platforms, whatever social media platforms, to voice our criticisms against governments whenever they are not taking policies that that help in the fight against climate change and global warming. We should be encouraging the use of renewable energy resources that don't use petroleum based products and stuff. We should be encouraging these new technologies that are coming up, like nuclear fusion and stuff. That's my opinion.
All right, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, we should all take that and write it on a piece of paper and make sure we all try to do our best, give our best contribution to solve this problem. With that said, over to you, host.
Thank you, Jury. Now let's move to Professor Wallace for audience question. Professor Wallace, over to you.
Thank you. I have got a couple of questions. You look like a tech guy. So I pick up a question. How will you defeat pandemic to bring back on tracks post-pandemic?
Professor, could you repeat that question? I mean,
as Generation Z, what will you do to fight back this pandemic, and after post-pandemic era, how it will come back as a Generation Z? What efforts will you put?
okay, so all right, interesting question. Thank you for that. Well, firstly, there's this quote by Mahatma Gandhi that comes to my mind: "The world starts with your footsteps." It basically, exemplifies individual responsibility. A lot of us, a lot of older generations, a lot of people weren't following a lot of these safety guidelines for COVID during this pandemic, wearing masks, maintaining social distancing, not going out whenever it's not necessary. And because a lot of people, didn't follow those advice, those policies, we have essentially accentuated the problem of this pandemic. And I believe as Gen Zers, we should make it a responsibility to be empathetic, to understand that this affects all of us, and we need to be careful about the way we conduct ourselves. We should wear masks, we should sanitize our hands, we should maintain social distancing. That's the first thing. That's the first step. Secondly, coming back after the pandemic, a new phenomena that this pandemic introduced is, these things called online meetings that we're conducting right now, obviously. And I believe that it has some drawbacks, but it has some positive effects as well. For example, I am able to communicate with a lot of people from across the globe, which I could not have done if this wasn't some offline meeting of sorts. I'm obviously being able to do that because a lot of you are subscribing, a lot of you are using this platform, using these online meeting systems. And I believe that even after pandemic, we should cherish this technology because I believe that it brings people together and makes the world a better place.
Thank you so much. Back to the host.
Thank you, Professor. So guys, keep on voting. I'll request all my audience to keep voting. All our participants, they have really worked hard. So keep voting and keep supporting and keep loving them. This show is going live on YouTube and other platforms of Global Unitalks. All our dreams can come true if we have courage to pursue them. By Walt Disney. So standing here, we all are leading and learning towards our goals, and it takes courage to come forward and stand and go fire on stage. With this, let's call speaker number 5 and bring their charm and charisma on the stage. Speaker number 5, all the best.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everyone who is tuned in to this channel and watching us live as we present our views about the given topic, that is the role of Generation Z in the 21st century. So when I was growing up, my parents used to tell me about how they used to walk miles and miles to head to school, or how they used to read about a 300-page manual to know how to operate a machine. They said I was born lucky. They said I was born in an era where digitalization is the norm, following trends is the topmost priority, and making a dream is everyone's thought. But I always used to ask myself, who are these people, the so-called lucky ones, the unique ones? Until I got to find out that it is Generation Z. Generation Z is the most lucky and the most unique group of people who have promoted change and brought a lot of difference in our 21st century. Generation Z believe that the world has reached a tipping point on issues such as racial inequality, injustices, and the type of environment we live in. For example, they want more action done on climate change, corruption, and all those other different problems that are happening in our different communities and societies.
generations before were defined by the norms and traditions that they were instilled in. For example, you were not allowed to move out of the house. You would not own a phone before you reach the adult age. But Generation Z is lucky. You are able to do things by yourself, which actually brings me to their motto. And I love this motto so much. And that is, be yourself or do whatever makes you happy. If I want to be a public speaker, an activist, a poet, a musician, I can, because it's what makes me happy. And I'm able to express my feelings, create awareness through my being myself. And that is what is creating a change. These youngsters of Generation Z are creating this change because of this motto. And when I look at Generation Z, I look at peace, I look at harmony, I look at more cooperation as compared to the other generations before. For example, before, when a pandemic hit, as we are having a COVID-19 pandemic, and the generations before, there wouldn't be that much unity, there wouldn't be that much peace as there is now. For example, when the Spanish flu hit, many people decided to isolate themselves, create more stigma. They wanted to make those people who fell sick feel bad. But right now, I'm telling you, Generation Z has created platforms that is actually encouraging more people who are affected by the COVID-19. I'm telling you, there is social media, there is internet, there is television series that are actually encouraging people as they're going through this COVID-19, which is personally not easy. For example, when the COVID-19 hit, I was so sad because I had to stop normal school. I had to do virtual learning, and my routine changed as I was not used to it. But through Generation Z, I've learned and been encouraged that we can embrace the new normal as COVID-19. And Generation Z has a simplified life. For example, the new technologies that are being introduced, I know every single night and every single day, there is a new technology that is being produced. And that is actually creating a better change and inflicting more awareness amongst the youngsters and as well as the millennials that are in the world. And in conclusion, it brings me to some words said by a famous actress, Zendaya. She said that my generation has the opportunity to change the world. And I believe that we as Generation Z can create a difference, can create a change, and create a foundation for the generations to come. And I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, as it's my first time as a global Unitalks speaker, and I'm enjoying the experience, and it is very encouraging to meet new people from all around the world. And I thank Professor Wallace and Professor Diana for mentoring us and keeping us encouraged, even though it is virtual and we cannot meet ourselves. But I feel like we have already met ourselves, even though it is virtual. And I thank you so much to the audience, and I thank you so much to my family as well for giving me and supporting me through learning this talent and also allowing me to meet these new people. Thank you.
What a wonderful speech. Well done, dear. You certainly made your thought crystal clear and flowed us to like a clean, beautiful, calm, and knowledgeable river. Let's see what our judges have to say about this. So first I'll call about our very smiley, flashy, and very cheerful, brilliant international jury member, Ms. Denadi, for the topic question.
I thank you, host. Again, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful speech. I really, really, really enjoyed it from the beginning itself. And one thing I have to say is you kept all of our attentions throughout the entire speech. There wasn't a moment where I wasn't watching, because it was that effective, and it was very, very, very interesting and really nice way of putting your thoughts out there. Congratulations on your first competition. With that said, let's go to a small question from your topic. Well, since you talked about technology and how we have developed into a very technological era, do you think that there is a dark side to it? Do you think that there's a dark side to technology? And if so, what would your advice be to Generation Z with regards to using technology in the right way?
Thank you so much for the question. And yes, technology has a darker side. Yes, it's not all positive, and like I had mentioned in my speech, the dark side of technology is, it is predicting everyone's move. It is everyone wants to keep up. I can do something bad so that I can get this latest technology, so I can get it, and I know I'm on top. Well, my advice to Generation Z is not to depend a lot on this technology. Yes, it is here to simplify our life, but we shouldn't depend much on it. We should devise other means. For example, creating more person-to-person meetings. Even though we're in this pandemic, we can still try to follow the guidelines and do person-to-person meetings. We can as well try to focus more on creating a more personal, I can say I've already mentioned that, but a personal meeting, which is actually more better, and not spend much on our technology, because it's not good to depend, as it has also health disadvantages. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that answer. And over to you, host.
Thank you, jury. It's always good to listen to you, and it's very cheerful to see you. Now I would invite our very knowledgeable international jury, Professor Diana, for asking general question. Professor Diana, over to you.
Thank you, host. And going back to speaker 5, this is for your general topic. This is just a very general question. Speaker 5, hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How?
I'm good. Okay, let's take a general question. I'm going to give you a situation. You're walking on the street and you find a piece of a garbage. What would you do?
Thank you so much for that question.
Okay.
And we as Generation Z are supposed to, create an example. And if I was walking on the street and I did meet a piece of paper, I would pick it up and dispose it where it is supposed to be disposed. If it is to be recycled, I would recycle. And if it is to be maybe disposed somewhere else, I would, because we are supposed to promote climate change, make our environment a better place to live in. So I would obviously pick it up and throw it somewhere else. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker 5.
Thank you, Professor Diana. It's good to listen to you. Now let's see who got lucky, and Professor Wallace selected that one question from audience. So I invite our brilliant jury, Professor Wallace, for audience question.
Yes, there's 6 questions, but I picked one which I like. What message you would like to give to Generation Z?
Thank you so much, Professor Wallace, for that question. And the message I would love to give to Generation Z is they are creating a foundation for the other generations to come, and also building on what other generations have done. So my message is we should continue to be confident, to be having more self-esteem, to create more awareness, express our feelings, and show that we make a change in this 21st century. So Generation Z should continue with the motivation it is having, the strength it is having, and the courage it is having to create and inflict change in this 21st century. Thank you.
Back to host. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Wallace. Thank you to all the lovely audience present here today. We highly value you, and you will get to express your love and support for your favorite speaker by voting. So after every speaker, a pop-up will appear on your screen, and you can vote accordingly for each group. The competition is streamed live on YouTube and various other social media handles worldwide. So send your favorite speaker comments to get selected, and win this competition. Thank you. Now, I want to really move on to the next speaker to hear, as I'm very eager to hear more and more thoughts about our generation and how we can improve this world. So, speaker number 6, the floor is yours.
Speech has power. Words do not fade. What start out as a sound ends in a deed. Dear Honorable International Jury, respected founder of Global Unitalks, Worldwide Unitalks family, fellow participants, my heartiest greetings to all of you. I am Unitalks speaker number 6. In the very first go, I mentioned how this speech has influenced the world. So here I am to express my views on the topic, the role of Generation Z in 21st century. Being a member of Generation Z, let me share an instance of last year with you all. I was studying in my first year of my college. I started an internship with an NGO to get to know about social concern, how to get to know about hardship faced by the society. Eventually, I found numerous students like me coordinating with the NGO. And what I really observed there, we, the students, are craving opportunities for longer, deeper involvement where we could work towards the creating of solution, meaningful changes. I hope it makes sense to you all. This kind of new group is studying in the college and make up a significant workforce. We are growing up in an incredible, unique time in the history. We have driverless cars, automated homes, and whatnot. Gen Zers are also considered as digital natives since they grew up after the advent of internet. During the rise of smartphones, modern science technologies, fellow participants, we all have a smartphone, right? We are spending much more time connected to the devices, right? Now, what our family members from previous generation used to say, we are not spending our time wisely. Is it so? No, of course not. Generation Z is a passionate group, whether advocating for social justice issues, being vocal about our beliefs, or standing out, finding out the ways to make this world a better place. Generation Z is paving path for the changes. Social media is giving this generation more opportunity to harness power than the previous generation. So, there is a quote by Zen Zedder. We can tackle the biggest problem of our society if we care less about how the people identify to these problems like which bathrooms should they use. Instead, focus on issues, how can we conserve water in said bathroom. So Generation Z is 72% strong. They are open-minded and inclusively strong. They are extremely resourceful. 30% of them operating their businesses, entrepreneurship. What it means for them, it's more than being about their boss or taking control of their career paths. It is it's a way to leverage their passion to create social change. Then they see a problem, they create a business and find out the solution, work towards a solution. For them, making solution is more important than making their money. And at last, I would like to mention a quote by great personality of India, Swami Vivekananda ji. Do not wait for anybody or anything. Do whatever you can. Build your hope for none. Generation Z is taking these views into our heart, and our choices are reflecting it. As we can see, whatever their interest is, this group understands the value of marketable skills. Concepts and theory are fine, but the ability to hit the ground is more important for us. Gen Z wants to leave college with more demonstrable experience. Now, I would like to describe my beautiful journey with the Global Unitalks. So it was initiated with a super speaker here, speaker number 1. She get to know that I do have an incredible interest in speaking and writing. She guided me to join this organization. And here what I get, I could not get it anywhere else. Marvelous mentorships. by Professor Wallace, as he provided me the best suggestions. And Professor Diana, she suggested me to strategize my script. And I really appreciate the unconditional support and cooperation from fellow contestants. Thank you so much, dear honorable international juries, respected founder of Global Unitalks, worldwide Unitalk family, and thank you so much all. Best wishes to all of you.
Thank you so much, speaker number 6, for that wonderful speech. I especially love the 4 keywords you've used for Generation Z, which was open-minded, inclusive, strong-willed, and entrepreneurial, if I'm not wrong. But that was an absolutely phenomenal speech. I love how you have a very strong interest in public speaking. It's how I think all of us have landed up here on Global Unitalks. So I want to move on to now the international juries. So Mr. Hillary, let us ask a question related to the topic speaker number 6 has talked about.
Thank you so much. Speaker number 6, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. And how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and Merry Christmas. In your speech, you emphasize the need for the GNZ to be more resilient and possibly in the aftermath of the COVID-19 to try to be more resilient. My question is, the GNZ has been most affected in terms of education. What do you think education will look like in the near future? And is there anything that you feel should be added to the education that's not already existent? Is there something that you feel should be added to the education system that is not existent?
Yeah, so right now in the education system, we are only focusing on the marks. So this is the thing that I wanted to be, because we should be abolishing people judging students on the basis of their marks. The thing is that some experimentation work should be there, just like we are having experiment. We should be having experiments for the social things as well, like to judge EQ. There must be some curriculum regarding emotional intelligence and IQ. These kind of things should be also valued and judged when we are talking about the education system. So new kind of curriculum adding all these value points should be there, implemented soon.
Thank you so much for that really amazing answer. Adding emotional intelligence as part of a new concept in the education system, I'm sure that will create a very big difference, especially in the aftermath of the COVID-19, where we have to deal with lots of mental issues and a lot of stability that is needed. Thank you, speaker number 6.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Hillary. I want to now move on to Ms. Danadi to ask a very general question related to the theme of this competition. Ms. Danadi.
Right, thank you very much. First, again, wonderful speech, and good luck for all of your future competitions. With that said, now that Generation Z is in the middle of a pandemic, there's lockdown, there's so much of uncertainty for all of us. We don't know what will happen in the next week, next year, next month, so on. So how would you enjoy this time, even while being under lockdown, even while being in the pandemic? How can we effectively use this time?
Okay, so I just want to thank you for this awesome question, because I'm really enjoying giving answer to this thing. So you asked me that how we will be going to enjoy our daily routine, right? So the thing is, I'm enjoying this kind of new normal a lot, because nowadays we are not supposed to have that offline classes. We are having much time to connect with the online classes. We at the same time doing so many internships. We are gaining experiences. We are working for the skills. We are brushing up. Like I'm being a science student, being an engineer. What I am working on right now, I'm working for the courses like coding and all. I'm learning it all virtually. So if I have to go physically and I have to go out for these classes. Might be I'm not able to attend all these classes. Might be I'm not brushing up. Might be I'm not giving time to all of these things. But right now, because my time is being saved, because I can get to know about my college sessions in this smartphone, so this is saving my time, and so I'm using my time wisely. I'm marking things like what are my priorities, and then I'm devoting my time for all of them. So I'm enjoying doing lots of internship, doing lots of online courses. I'm enjoying virtual talks. I'm enjoying virtual competition. Like I did enjoy this competition a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that wonderful answer. And it's very important for all of us to remember to enjoy the pandemic without just always complaining. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
right.
over to the host.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nadi, for the wonderful question. And speaker number 6, I did not know you were engrossed in so many activities at once, which is just so cool and so amazing. Truly inspirational, I would say, from my part, honestly. Moving on, I want to invite Professor Wallace to ask a question from the audience.
Well, audience are very, thank you, host. Audience are very curious. They're asking me, how old are you?
Okay, so yes, I'm 19 years old. And yes, I told you that I'm in second year of my college. So I started doing internship with the first year only. And I was discussing that instance from last year. So I'm 19 years old. Yeah.
Okay. So you are one of the youngest speaker in the lot. So there were some questions, but I pick one which I like. What will you do actually to heal the world as Generation Z?
Okay, so healing means that we should be having the patience to deal with each and every condition. That means we are having an emotional stability. So that for that we should be having so many campaigns. We should be neglecting the negative point of view, because there are so many things we keep on updating ourselves on the social media about negative scenarios as well. Being being a Gen Z, what we can say, we can neglect these kind of negative things, and we can spread positivity by sharing positive views for each one of us. And it comes from like as someone else among the speaker told that lead by example. So healing can be done when we are leading ourselves, we are healing ourselves, then we can come to heal for someone else. So it is about finding strength in oneself and giving that positive vibe to the next one. So that's how we can heal the world.
Thank you,
So much,
speaker number 6.
Professor.
Yeah, that was actually quite wonderful to hear about. Moving on, let's call upon last but not a least speaker. Speaker number 7 would somehow end this competition on a very good note, which I'm hoping to, and would present their own strong opinions, which again I'm eager to hear. So many interesting opinions so far. So speaker number 7, I'm very eager to hear your opinion. The floor is yours.
The founder of Global Unitalks, the international table of jury, the worldwide audience, and my fellow contestants, greetings to you all. I'm Global Unitalks speaker number 7, coming out to share my ideas and views about the growth of Generation Z in 21st century. The world has undergone various changes and generation after generation, and this is due to the new ideas that individuals come up with. They put them into action and they try to improve on various sectors. These ideas have greatly affected sectors, for example, the socio-economic and the political sector. But the question still stands, are these ideas constructive or destructive? Before answering this question, we should all put this back on our mind that life is never static. I personally accepted identity. I've lived seeing and experiencing various changes in life, and this has greatly improved on my thinking. It has made me come up with ideas on how to make a better me, how to improve on my life, and how to make it better. as I grow, the more I grow, the more I see life in a wider view. I come up with ideas on how to improve and to promote a better life. And this is what makes up Generation Z. Generation Z is made up of people who think big, people who are creative, people who are pragmatic, people who are competitive, and their characters have really helped them to improve on the 21st century. Their characters have really enabled them to put up things that help them to live in the 21st century, to live in a century that is full of changes, a century that is ever coming up with new things, new ideas, and a century that brings in change, even if you're not ready for it. The roles of the Generation Z in the 21st century can be related to their characters, as I explained some of them before. The fact that Generation Z is full of creativity. People come out with ideas daily, for example. This is because people are exposed. We Generation Zers are exposed to various things. I personally, during this pandemic, I realized some of my talents. For example, I realized that I can do more of crocheting, I can do more of hairdressing. And because Generation Z is full of support, I got various support from different people, especially my parents. They helped me build out my talent of making crochets, making hairdressing. This differs to the past generation, the older generation, because if we talk about the older generations, maybe our grandparents, they used to live in a life that was full of specialization. You can find a family when the whole community knows it basically. Maybe a family is based on farming, based on hunting. Even though you're in that family that is well known of hunting, you're having ideas. For example, no, I can do this, I can do music. No one will support you because they really want to promote their talent of hunting. They want the society to be proud of them. So they don't give you chance. They don't give you chance to expose out your talents and what. That's why I see Generation Z as the best generation to live in. A generation that can promote your talent, a generation that can help you build out a better you. If I continue talking about creativity, very many things have been put in place. People have come out with ideas that have really helped on the improvement of sectors. For example, people have come out with the ideas of technology. Technology has really improved on various sectors. When you talk about the communication system, wow, we no longer move miles and miles just to deliver our information. For example, as I was growing up, my grandmother told me a story that when they were growing up, they could be sent like something like 5 to 6 kilometers to deliver something. Maybe there is an occasion at my home. I had to move like 5 kilometers to go and inform my relatives so that they can come and attend the function. That great is Generation Z. Reason being, the means of communications have been eased due to technology. I can easily call someone, I can easily communicate to someone who is far from me, someone who is like miles and miles from me, and this has really promoted Generation Z. Then we talk about Generation Z as a generation that is competitive. How is this a role in the 21st century? We all know that where there is competition, there is pressure. Yeah, the pressure encourages you to work hard so as you can produce the best out of you. So if you talk about this, competition has gone viral. In each sector, there is competition. Education, who wants to be a loser? No one wants to be a loser. So the competition and the pressure will enable you to work hard so that you produce the best out of you. Then we talk about sports. For example, maybe we are having athletic competitions. You have to work more and more. You don't want to lose. You don't want your team to lose, or maybe your country wide. So this will really help you to put in more effort, to practice more, and to do everything that will enable you to win. This was never there before in the older generation. According to the stories I hear, competition was not that much because not everyone was given a chance to participate in a particular event. Not everyone, things with that, people used to over specialize in things. For example, the female gender was not given chance to do various things. They were given specific things that they were supposed to do. But while it's Generation Z, we are given opportunities, we can really engage in various things. And that is very great about Generation Z. Then we talk about Generation Z as full of people who are pragmatic. We as Generation Z, we work more on action than theory. For example, I have something in my mind. I'll not just stop on maybe talking about it. I'll not just leave it on theory, but I'll put it more effort so that I work upon it and produce something great out of it. That is to say, maybe I've realized I have a talent in me. I was in my room, I tried to sing, and it came out well. I will not sit behind because I'm maybe scared of something, because Generation Z are assertive. Someone cannot sit on her talent. Someone cannot just keep quiet on something that he or she realized in her. I'll come out, put it into action, and it will benefit me and maybe the society at large. Before I conclude, let me take this great opportunity to thank the Global Unitalks family for the opportunities they give to us. Firstly, this is my first time to participate in the Global Unitalks competition, but I'm really grateful. I'm really happy that I've given a chance to share my ideas and views to the society. I'm really thankful for this platform because it has enabled me to meet various people who have added something onto my life. Thanks for your audience. I raise my case.
Thank you so much, speaker number 7. I absolutely love that speech. You talking about competition make me reminiscent of the previous competitions we've had here on Global Unitalks, especially last month when we had an international debate competition where we had contestants come together in groups and they talk, and they had the topic is cooperation better than competition. So you talking about competition and how it makes us work hard more, ignites opinions in my mind and the previous encounters I've come across in the previous competitions like last month, which was quite amazing. Moving on, let's call upon our lovely juries. Mr. Hillary, let's ask a question to speaker number 7 regarding their topic.
Thank you, speaker number 7. How are you doing, speaker number 7?
Your speaker is closed, speaker number 7, your microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, speaker number 7, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Your speech was really, I could say, broad and tackled almost every single topic from the social, political, and economic spaces. While the GNZ continues to evolve or possibly find spaces in which they can showcase their ideas, they have often been misunderstood or possibly considered as impatient, careless, or overambitious. How do you think this narrative can be changed?
Oh, sorry. Can you please pardon me?
Okay. The GNZ, as you have highlighted in your speech, are finding new solutions to existing problems. They are finding better ways to do things, call it a paradigm shift. And along this path, they have been misunderstood as being impatient, careless, or overambitious, especially by the other generations. How can this narrative or this way they have actually been misunderstood be changed? Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that question. It's a very wonderful question. Okay, first of all, we should share our ideas with the people who are misunderstanding the generation as an evil one. We should help them understand our aims, that they are not negative, but they are positive. We should make them live a life of not being conservative, because if you're conservative, everything new you see, you will see it as bad, because for you, you believe that the past ways we are better than these ones. So we should sensitize people. We should allow them understand that we are aiming at a better life, or we are aiming at improving a better generation than the past generation. Thank you.
Thank you, speaker number 7. I am very sure with this response, if these particular steps are put into consideration, then definitely this misconception will be no more, and GNZ will have the best basis to self-actualize within this regard. Thank you so much, speaker number 7, and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Hilary, for that wonderful question. Thank you, Speaker number 7, for your wonderful response. Now I want to invite Ms. Dinari to ask a general question related to the theme of this competition.
Right. Thank you, host. And wonderful job, speaker number 7. With that said, moving on to a general question. If there was any movie that you had to direct or write, what would that movie be about?
Okay, thank you for that question. Thank you, it's a great question. If there was a movie I would write or direct, what could it be about? I think the movie could be about on how to improve on our generation, like how to live more than before, how to improve different sectors like technology, and it could have a provision of allowing our elders, maybe the ones who take Generation Z as a bad generation, it could have a provision of making them understand that no, it's not a bad generation, but we are trying to improve on lives, we're trying to improve on social, everything life. We're trying to improve the other generation from this generation. Thank you.
Right, thank you for that wonderful answer, and over to you, host.
Thank you, Ms. Dinari. Now let's call upon Professor Wallace to ask a question from the audience.
Well, thank you so much. I saw one question in the chat box here, which I would like to put on to speaker. And the question is, do you think we can train the next generation to be more empowering than we are? Please explain why.
Oh, thank you for that question. Yes, I believe we can train the next generation to be more than we are, in a way that we can live on living a strategy behind us that the next generation can come and build on it. We can do things that we can live and the next generation can come and improve on it. Maybe they can make it better. So that's how we can make the next generation to be better than this generation. And the other thing, I think we can also say, okay, we can also sensitize through maybe a child grows from childhood with desensitization of having integrity, self-esteem, so that when they grow up in the next generation, they can become better, they can do things better than we did. They can also improve the world and improve themselves and their societies, communities where they are living in. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer. Back to the host.
My dear audience, keep voting, supporting, and showering your love on our participants via YouTube channel where it's going live and also in other pages of Global Unitalks. It's Christmas and a New Year. I just got off the phone from Santa. He asked me to make this evening beautiful present for you all. And I guess we did make a lot of it. I would like to give you one more present. Join this wonderful platform today itself. Go visit official website of Global Unitalks and be a part of such big knowledgeable platform running in more than 177 countries and polishing students all over the world. I take this opportunity to thank our young international jury panel of Global Unitalks who are past competition winners and filled with bright ideas and flashy smiles. Folks were technologically ahead, yet valuing their roots and culture. And yes, you people guessed it right. So give a big hand to our Honorable Zuri from Gen Z. Your presence is crucial to all of us to learn, improve, and lead towards our path of success. Thank you to always cheerful and brilliant Miss Denadi and very knowledgeable Miss Larry. We can't ever deny the fact that we all want to make those very proud who made us shining and groomed us so we can lead the world. And after parents, it's our teachers. So thanking all parents, and then two very important root of all of us, our mentors, Professor Wallace and Professor Diana. Nothing can beat the warmth of their presence. So a heartfelt thanks to both of them for mentoring, grooming, and we are very happy to see their brimming proud eyes with the heart swell with proud. Not everyone gets chance to leave imprints of their thoughts and values on others, imparting our knowledge and learning from others. We as a participant got chance to do both. Remember, when we speak, we not only speak but we represent our whole value, family, culture and nation. Thank you all the participants and all the very best. You all certainly lit the floor. Last but not least, we all need supporters, motivators, family, friends to shower love on us, be there for us. Cheer for us, give us a shout out, motivate us to do better. And with this, I welcome our all audience, family, friends with a basket full of pure emotion and intention of thanking them. Greeting, folks. How can I forget a very remarkable mention to my co-host for being such a nice human and host, working with me and cooperating with me. I learned a lot while doing this with you. And so with a big smile, I thank you, Mashamsi. Now, to close this competition, I want to call upon our brand ambassador of East Africa, Miss Lillian Watika, to deliver our closing speech. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I am honored to be delivering the closing speech. A group of blind men come across an elephant for the first time. One feels its tusk and concludes elephants are made of stone. Another feels its leg and says no, an elephant is like a tree. Still, another feels its trunk and calls it a snake, and another feels its tail and says it's a broom. Eventually, they are at odds, each claiming the absolute truth based on their subjective experience. Generation Z, a collective force of young and brilliant minds powered by the desire to know better and consequently do better. Just like the blind men, we may not know how to wrap our arms around the whole beast to tell you everything there is to know about life. However, our power lies in knowing that what we know isn't always enough. The spirit of adventure and curiosity rules our mental faculties, and that's where our strength lies, in exploring alternative ways of living, provoking deeper conversations that may be controversial, demanding the absolute truth, and when that isn't given, we seek it ourselves. A generation that is aware of its traumas and how to heal, aware of the injustices and bridging that gap through embracing diversity. A generation that is bound to cause long-lasting change in the systems and structures that govern humanity. Listening to all these speeches has been a great privilege. The different aspects of Generation Z that have been brought out in each speech is a breath of fresh air. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us here today, seeing our generation in its full expression through the platform that is Global Unitalks. What a wonderful year it's been in Global Unitalks, from partnerships with the United Nations to having a winner in the China Daily One Belt, One Road competition. We can only be grateful to be able to witness such greatness blooming through this platform. I can only say I'm looking forward towards 2022 has to offer. Thank you.
What a wonderful outflow of thoughts, organized in such a nice way. So many thoughts and opinions. Definitely striked our audience brain and heart. The story of blind men and elephant will remain forever with us. Mesmerizing speech. Next comes our beloved Professor Diana, who has been more like a medicine to me. Definitely hard, but best for my speaking and writing health. It's my privilege on the behalf of Global Unitalks family to invite our teacher, mentor, and guide, Professor Dhyana, Vice President Global Unitalks, on stage to deliver a vote of thanks. Professor Dhyana is a foreign expert and has done a PhD in linguistics. She has been a guide to many students of various countries in the field of public speaking and linguistics. She has written several articles on public speaking, and she is famous among her students who took guidance from her to pass IELTS, TOEFL, and advanced English learning. We all are proud to be her student and succeed in our public speaking abilities. Let's welcome Professor Dhyana with a huge round of applause. Professor Dhyana, over to you.
Thank you, host. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm here to deliver my vote of thanks. Wow. It's a surprising to see the year has come to an end. And we have hosted so many events of Global Unitalks in 2021. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. Distinguished International Unitalks jury panel, Professor Amelia Murphy, Professor Quinn Over, Mr. Victor, founder and the architect of Global Unitalks, Professor Wallace, young international jury panel, Ms. Dinardi and Mr. Hillary, our worldwide Unitalks family, today's young speakers, and ladies and gentlemen, greetings to all of you. I sincerely like to thank all of you for being here today, giving your precious time on a festive season by joining this prestigious Global Unitalks Global Youth Speech Competition 2021 Youth Power online virtual event with a thought-provoking topic, Role of Generation Z in the 21st century. After listening to these young speakers with their captivating speeches and the ideas and the different perspective, I feel that Gen Z has taught us to challenge ourselves and move forward in this new normal life and be open to communication and digital era as a part of our daily life. We must be ready to learn and accept the differences. We should not be forming stereotypes opinions. So I really thank Generation Z. Thank you very much. Further, I would like to sincerely thank our international juries who are enjoying Christmas here for their presence and guidance, without whom this and many more events could not be possible. Thank you so much to support the youth of Silk Road countries. With a special thanks to Mr. Dhyan Baruwa, Global Unitalks Brand Ambassador Canada, for his opening note, and Ms. Lillian Watika, Global Unitalks Brand Ambassador East Africa, for her closing speech. As I deliver my vote of thanks, I would like to mention here and emphasize it's very important to thank all these parties who have been involved right from the juries, creative teams, Unitalks members, and the people behind the scene. So we must recognize their efforts. Thank you very much, and thank you everyone in 2021. Last but not the least, the heart of our event, two young, beautiful, and elegant hosts, Miss Mahashamsi, Global Unitalks Brand Ambassador, United Arab Emirates, and Miss Abha Singh, Global Unitalks Brand Ambassador, India, who has hosted this magnificent festive event and made the event more lively, interactive, keeping the audience engaged. And it was so live to listen to both of you. Thank you. Well, before I conclude and say goodbye, have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see all of you and your support in coming 2022 Global Unitalks events. So, well, now this is a time to say goodbye and a time to say hello and welcome a new year. wish you, all of you, a very happy new year 2021 to 2022. So as we move in 2022, I wish to see all of you in the coming future Global Unitalks events. Thank you. Take care, be safe, and enjoy the season's festive season. Thank you. Back to the host.
Thank you so much, Professor Diana, for those lovely and wonderful words. I will absolutely see you next month when we host another competition in January, at the end of January, pretty much. So, thank you to the audience who stayed till the end. A huge thank you to the young international juries who have managed to evaluate speakers today. And finally, big thank you to Professor Diana and Professor Wallace for being the event organizers who helped all of us from A to Z. Thank you, and see you in the next competition and the second award ceremony on 30th January 2022, which is a Sunday, at 5 p.m. Hong Kong time. So if you are interested in joining the Global Unitalks International Competitions in 2022, please go to the Global Unitalks website to register as a speaker and gain yourself an opportunity to be part of the Global Unitalks family. So register now, and we'll see you next month. A very good evening and a very good night to all of you.
Thank you so much, Mahashamshi, our beautiful host. So today we are trying to conclude a little early because of the special occasion and festive season, so everybody could enjoy. Today we have selected very special speakers from very far remote locations. So I was keeping my finger crossed on the internet, but finally we made it. We want everyone to be given opportunity. That's the motto and vision and mission of Global Unitalks. So I'm very happy today that we could able to successfully let them speak, and we could hear their perspective and their opinion and their ideas on how Generation Z is going to change and bring a better world in 21st century. As you all guys know, that Global Unitalks holds several events across the year. To be precise, we hold 12 international global competition every year. Every month, last Saturday or the Sunday, whichever comes, is the time Global Unitalks competition is held, and the time is fixed, 5 p.m. Hong Kong time, and the Zoom ID is fixed and is live telecasted in most of the channels and social media handles, including YouTube channel. I will request all the speakers today to get your votes on the social media channels because 50% of your score comes from the public opinion and the audience response and what they think about your speech. And 50% of the score comes from the Global Unitalks Young International Jury Panel and the chairman of the Global Unitalks Jury Panel globally. So with this, now I open the floor. I will request, there's also time to enjoy a bit together, a photo time for the Christmas. Merry Christmas, so everybody can open their camera. And I will also like to hear some perspective of some of you who are here and what you think about Generation Z role in the 21st century. So we'll be happy to hear your perspective as well after listening to several speakers from across the world. And I also invite first to Mr. Hilary, the outgoing president of Global Unitalks East Africa, Uganda, to give us a brief report on his achievement for 2021. Thank you so much. The floor is yours, Mr. Hilary.
Thank you so much, Professor Wallace. The founder of Global Unitalks, the international jury, the speakers that we had today with your brilliant and amazing ideas and opinions on the role of the GNZ, the worldwide audience, and everyone part of the wider Unitalks family. Greetings to you all and Merry Christmas from wherever you are. My name is Hilary. I'm the outgoing president of Unitalks Uganda. It's always a privilege to be here and share this journey I've had with Unitalks from day one and today. It has been an exciting journey, I must say, and there's lots of ideas, there is lots of experiences that have shaped me to what I am today. The confidence you see with which I speak was not got overnight, but my consistency and the mentorship I got from Professor Diana, from the international juries, and everyone that was part of this journey is a testimony of how much Unitalks has shaped me. It was through Unitalks around October last year when I got in touch with them. I founded Unitalks Uganda with their support. And today I'm happy to announce that in close to around 14 months, we have reached out to 500 students within our circle through our events of the championship we had in January, the health events which we hosted at the start of this month, and other internal engagements that we have had. We have reached to close 500 students, and we think this is something we are proud of as the entire Unitalks family. These are students who are at home, and many literally have nothing to do while others are doing a few things and there, but keeping them engaged through a platform that enables them share their ideas with others and interact as peers while still developing critical skills like public speech, communication, and all other engagements that we have. We think this is a great milestone in shaping these youngsters in becoming who we want them to be. So we are proud of that as Unitalks Uganda. These very students have represented us to other competitions beyond our Unitalks competitions. They have gone to Oxford World Schools Debate Championship. They have been to Hong Kong World Schools Debate Championship. They have been to other competitions across the globe, and we are proud of them. They have always made it to the quarterfinals, to the finals, and we are proud of this achievement within this. Even with limited internet, sometimes we are unable to afford the internet course, and so many other hiccups that come along the way. They have been resilient, and I think this is something that we should be proud of these folks. We are proud of all the youngsters that are within our Unitalks family. That is the overall journey we have had as Unitalks Uganda. On my own, I also have another exciting journey, although it might seem a personal journey, but it is still worth sharing. Unitalks has not only shaped me into becoming a public speaker, to become a debater, because I participated in the International Debate Competition 2020, the English-speaking competition was the flagship event. I did one belt, one road competition, and I was proud of myself, and I was happy to have been given this opportunity. And this was a sign that every time you put in your efforts, the reward is worth it. Following our events and constantly participating in these events is something that every one of us should do. And we should not only stop here, dear students, but we should propagate this in our respective universities and other parts of where we hail from, so we could have many, many students coming to join and partake of these extra benefits that you will not get anywhere at a free cost. That's what makes Unitalks family exclusively unique, because we get this all at a free cost. I personally had my first international experience or exposure at Unitalks, and this is when I joined Unitalks. I never dreamt of perhaps speaking on a global platform like this, or perhaps debating with someone who was far away from me. But with the exposure I got, I was able to use this very exposure and mentorship to explore other ventures. I have judged in nearly every continent, though virtually. I have judged some competitions in Australia, in Asia, in Europe, in Minnesota, that is the US, and other parts of the world. It's this persistence that I learned from Unitalks. It is this quality of never giving up that taught me to always continue pressing harder. I used to have a poor internet, and many cases I would come here, I would skip off here and there, but still I learned, even with these conditions, you can still beat the odds and still achieve what you're meant to achieve. It is persistence, it is consistency, it is hard work, and listening to the advice of those that have gone before us that will shape us into becoming what we are supposed to do and be, as the GN said. Still, Unitalks gave me my first exposure and literally a big exposure with technology. I had never used Zoom previously for something really serious and everything, but I think this spark was very important as well in my life. my first exposure with Zoom and all these things also raised my interest in technology. And today I can say I've been working on a technology project that is basically towards education, though not yet out to the public, but soon it will be out. And all this spark and this desire to create a difference in the technological space was sparked on the day I first had my Zoom interface. Thanks to Unitalks, I have not remained the same. I have become a much more better person. I have seen other opportunities come to me because I've been able to express myself. And this best way of expressing myself has been formed here. I would speak all day if I was to share my experience, if I would share the benefits and achievements that we have made as Unitalks Uganda and all our close relatives, because we also had Unitalks in other parts of the world, of the country, we were able to propagate it. But still, as I'm going to speak all day, but that will not be an amazing thing on your festival. So yes, I'll stop here. But I just want to convey my gratitude to everyone that has been part of my journey, the creative team that always makes the graphics that we share on social media, the international jury for the feedback, for those minute questions that always shape the way we think about the different aspects of life, and the audience that always spares their time to come and listen to us, to ask good questions that eventually are important in our life. And thanks to Professor Diana for the time you spare to train every one of us, for the time you spare to look through our scripts, our videos, ask us here and there. Sometimes we late respond, but you're patient with us, and we are always there as well to do our best. And thanks to Professor Wallace, the founder of Unitalks. Without you, we would not have all these students impacted. Without you, we would not have all these achievements. And without you, some lives may not have changed, like how mine has done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, fellow speakers and fellow students that are joining this platform. And I pray that we continue to propagate the platform, have many, 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 many more coming to join us and be here. Yes, I joined Unitalks at 17, and it's just 1 year. So that's probably I'm around 18. So yes, it's not about age, it's about anything, but the determination with which you have, you will achieve more. So thank you so much, everyone. And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Hilary. We have acknowledged your contribution, what you have done during your tenure as a president of Uganda, the East African region, and your new successor. I'm sure he is going to follow your footsteps and make it more bigger and more broader outreach as what you have done. So your mentoring of 500 students next year should be around 1,500. That is what a target I'm looking at. And you have been doing wonderful events locally and participating in various global and international debate competition and speech competition, bringing laurels and accolades to Global Unitalks. I think it's remarkable, incredible. Thank you so much. And I think you will be a very good future public speaker and a leader. So you have developed those kind of leadership quality, and that's how you drive Global Unitalks very well in your country. So this is also a part of the education and training. Great job. So with this, I would like to invite some of the people who were here and asking questions. And I think they have some very good insight about role of Generation Z in the 21st century. So let me call upon Mr. Corey to give his insight and his opinion on this particular topic. Mr. Corey, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Professor Wallace. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here, happy to see everyone's vibrant, healthy, energetic faces. It was a very well orchestrated event, so I'm very proud of all of you. The question at hand. So let's first talk about the 21st century. So we're like living in the most, digital and fast-paced, tracked world where technological breakthroughs are happening day by day. So we're like, we can access a plethora of information. We're well-versed with what's happening around the world. So because we've been brought up with all these, technological breakthroughs and advancements around us from an early age, we're in the driving seat to be, more impactful when addressing issues that people in the previous years and the generations prior were not so knowledgeable about. So stuff like the stigmatization against mental health, and because of all of that, we're in a very good driving seat to breach all these beliefs that people in previous generations had that would not normally, we wouldn't share the same opinion because we're going through it. So this is how I believe our role in the 21st century as a Gen Z can be used to break this stigmatization of mental health. And also because we have an access to a lot of smartwatches, gadgets, devices, we can be in a better place to be, knowing of how to take care of our health and so many other things. So this is my belief and sentiment on the question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Corey, for your lovely insight on Generation
Thank
Z.
you, Professor.
Now, let me ask Mr. Astride. Hi, you're here. What is your call on it? Thank you.
Yes, Professor. Thank you, Professor. Hello, everyone. My name is Aristide, and I'm happy to be here, and it's a pleasure to see you all. But for me, this generation is well advanced and the fulfillment is very diversified. We have a lot of materials and everything we need to maintain the world's future challenges. It's a very ambitious generation. But my question is, doesn't online education reduce the probabilities of Generation Z effectiveness? That's the question I have. Thank you.
Well, let me answer you. Your question is how effective this online teaching will pave your future career, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, you see, we need to face this new normal life, which we are living in. Every coin has two sides. So I look now from the positive side. The positive side is that in some aspect where you do not have to do a lot of practical job, like for example, if you're an engineer, you have to be on a workshop, or if you're a doctor, you should be on the site with the so-called hospital and looking into the real-time patient checking and so on and on. Yes, there's a challenge, but this challenge could be met locally wherever you are as time improves, or you could postpone it to a period of time and you can do it a little later. But you cannot stop your studies, because I think most of the universities and educational institutions, they have make a very good hybrid situation of giving the impartation of education through online, through many modes and methods, and using different technologies, a recorded material and tutorials, also on Zoom, and also you have a special session with the professors to discuss face-to-face, which you may not have opportunity actually when you are in the classroom. For example, if I'm teaching, I can have a breakout rooms, I can speak to few students and solve their questions. Even one student can talk to me with he or she has any difficulty. But if it was a classroom where 40, 50 students are there, I cannot do this kind of tutorials, and the time don't allow me. So I just try to give you, two sides of the coin. So we should always find good things in what we have and try to cover up those areas where we have some weaknesses and where we need to excel upon, to make sure that, as I mentioned, your practical training and your real-time interactions, there you could possibly do at the moment within your country, wherever you are, your hometown, and there could be some way to resolve it temporarily, and then you could do it later when this pandemic ends in post-pandemic era. In fact, one of my students asked me that, what should I do? And he has a problem in terms of practical things he's not able to do. So I gave him an advice. I said, there's two ways. If your age is not, you're not too old and your age allows, you can take a 1-year break. And you try to do something which is very interesting to you, related to your domain, related to your major, and then take a suspension. And once the situation improves, you go back and get your things back on track. So there are many ways and means you can handle it. I hope I answered your question, Astride.
Yes, Professor. Thank you very much.
Great. Now I can see Kirunda. Kirunda unfortunately couldn't speak today, but Kirunda, you have opportunity now. So we would like to hear you, if your internet is good, about role of Generation Z. Kirunda Joy Charity, are you here? Kirunda, can you hear me? Okay, I think her internet is not stable yet. Oh, I see Muhammad Hassan. Hi.
Professor.
Merry Christmas to you. I think you were partying last night a lot. So finally you are here. Okay, what is your take today after hearing all this Generation Z? What's your take home?
Well, my take home. Well, first I'd like to give my own opinion of Generation Z, if I may. Well, Generation Z, how they shape the future of the upcoming generation, Generation Alpha, and so on. So since Generation B has brought up in a world of technology and such technological advancements, I believe that their minds, which are socially minded, independent thinkers, and they recognize their responsibility in shaping their own futures and shaping the world's future as their societies, as a community, a world as a whole. And I think one of the characteristics that stand out of Generation Z is that the responsibility that they have to do better, to do for their family, to do for their friends or whoever it might be. They have, how to say this, a financial mindedness, if we can say it, because many of them have seen the struggles that had been gone through to come up to such stages, to come up to pay for fees, to pay for house, to pay for rent, etc., whatever it might be. So I think Generation Z has witnessed their struggles, their parents' struggles, their elders' struggle, and they're driven by pragmatism and security.
So as Generation Z, what contribution you would like to do to the society today and after post-pandemic as individual?
Realistically speaking, post-pandemic, I don't see anywhere in the near future. And the contributions that can be done, well, since Generation Z has such a critical mindset, creative thinking, that innovation, they have to bring about new changes, to bring about new technology. As we see nowadays, like all these advancements, they are being led by maybe someone at the top. But the ones who are working at the bottom is Generation Z. It's those youngsters who are setting these plans, setting these advancements, technologies in motion. So what contributions we can give is leading others, telling others that, look, we made these mistakes and we have gone through this, don't go through this. We have made a path, don't go through it again. Don't have to experiment on it and whatever it might be. So I think that's one of the biggest things we can contribute is guidance.
Okay, great. Sounds cool. Kurinda Joy Charity, your internet is okay. Are you audible now? Can you speak, please? Kurinda Joy Charity, can you hear me? Kurinda, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
I
What
can
is
hear
your,
you.
yeah, you can speak about your
Yes,
opinion
sir.
about Generation Z. Yes, go ahead. Can you hear
Should
me?
I give my speech?
You can, go ahead.
I can, okay.
Yes.
The founder of Global Unitalks, the international jury, our mentors, worldwide audience, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you to this auspicious occasion of the Global Unitalks Youth Competitions of 2021. It's a pleasure to have you tuned to this panel to listen to the great ideas being built out by great minds from the Global Unitalks family. I'm Global Unitalks, ready to share with you the role of Generation Z in the 21st century. It's quite amazing to think about how Generation Z has led to the improvement in the communication. Youth are able to connect with different people from different areas of the world due to the technology that was invented by Generation Z. It's quite amazing. Creativity is to the quest. Youth are able to come up with ideas and develop them by the use of technology, which was invented by Generation Z. It's quite unbelievable to imagine how communication has been made easy and fast. The use of smartphones is the order of the day in the 21st century. Currently, if you own a phone, you own the whole world. What am I trying to say? The use of phones has simplified work. It has made life so easy. People are able to have some other services. They get their services done by themselves. I'm really astonished by the fact that I'm able to attend lessons with my fellow students and teachers from different areas through Zoom call conferencing that was invented by Generation Z due to the lockdown and its negative effects. Imagine if the lockdown happened in those days where before Generation Z. He who holds firmly to the ground never falls. I therefore call upon my fellow youth to come together so that we can make our generation better. As I conclude my speech, I send my sincere appreciation to the international jury for making the day a success, the founder of Global Unitalks for giving us a platform to share our views, express out our ideas, build our confidence, our esteem. Thanks for guiding us in whatever we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurinda Joy. Give a big round of applause. She's one of the speaker who worked very hard and she fought with the challenge of the internet. She's in a very remote location in a small village in very far flung in Africa. And I really appreciate your zeal and your passion. And I'm sure one day you will be doing great. So we are always here to support you and guide you. Thank you so much, Kurinda, for being here and giving your opinion and your speech on this topic. Oh, Mr. Ganesh, how are you? How's Nepal? How's everything going with you?
Yeah, hello, Professor. Yeah, everything good, Professor. How about you?
I'm fine. So what brings you today, what you're going to take home on Generation Z topic?
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Ganesh. I'm from Nepal. And today I'm going to say something about the role of Generation Z. So, role of Generation Z in the 21st century is indeed a subject for many controversies. But one thing I can say for sure, this generation is a true representative of the time. We live in a courageous and highly adaptable. It is unclear, maybe our generation goal will be able to defend pandemic, United Nations. Maybe it is to clean the planet and make it a better place, or maybe to make technological revolution. But I can say that I hope historians in far future will talk about Generation Z. This much, Professor, from my side.
Thank you. So be positive and we will tide over this difficult times, and we should always stay emotionally strong and going ahead. So now I see our friend from Morocco, Ms. Hiba Ayub. How are you?
I'm doing good, Professor. How about you? Merry Christmas to everyone, by the way. Hope you're enjoying, guys, your holidays.
Yes, thank you so much. So what is your take on today's topic?
But first of all, thank you. And again, Merry Christmas to everyone. I'd say that as a Gen Z, we were called like the lucky generation here that, I mean, we survive, then we're going through good things and bad things. But I think the most thing I'm gonna ask is, although we're advanced and we're like living to new things and the technology is advancing us in a new way, but I feel like the Gen Z are facing something which is called mental issues. So my question would be like, how can we deal with those mental issues that if someone is facing them, especially like our generation, although we're like having a good luck.
Thank you, Ms. Hiba. So what message you want to give before we close this event today to all the audience and all the speakers present today?
Stay safe, do what you love, and be happy.
Great.
Look for happiness.
So, thank you. So 2022 is the year of hope, happiness, prosperity, and looking forward for the future. Hi, speaker number 6, our young speaker today. You have been doing a lot of stuff.
Yes,
What is your,
Professor.
yes, how you feel today after delivering your speech and listening to so many other speakers? So what you are going to take home?
Yeah, so as you all might be knowing that I'm speaking for the first time for this organization. Like I have joined this organization 2 or 3 days earlier, that's it. And I prepared my speech in that time span only. And I'm feeling so appreciated from you all. And that gave me a super spirit that yes, anyone can prepare well, anyone can shine up like a star. Just what you need to have is a beautiful environment where you can develop yourself, and second, the faith within yourself. So environment that you all have provided to me, that's great. Speakers are awesome, amazing, and mentors, what to say, nothing like, we all thank you so much because you deserve that thanksgiving from all of us. We are grateful to you because you guided us well. You both the professors are just like mentors. We haven't contacted like much as we used to contact our professors and colleges, but still we are having a great place in our heart for you both. Thank you so much, professors. Thank you, speakers. I enjoyed your speeches a lot. I will be watching YouTube session again and again to learn from you all, because at that time I was preparing for me. I was listening to them as well, but the key points which struck me so well. So I will be listening to them again and again because all the speakers were worthy. They were so beautiful. They were delivering beautifully. So I will be listening to them again and again, and awesome experience, what to say. Thank you so much.
So nice and so encouraging. I think we really appreciate, and you did a good job, and you continue, I'm sure, in future as well. Now we have Anastasia. She's also from very far place in Russia, somewhere, I don't know where, not in Siberia, it looks very cold there, and you still fought with your internet challenge. So how you feel today, and what is your feeling at the end of the year before starting 2022?
Yeah, I feel like it's a great event to end this year. Like this year was really tough for us all since we had to study online, but I think it gave me a lot of positive emotions, and I'm really happy that I participated in this event. And I really want to thank you all for making it possible for us all, for speakers to present our ideas, and thank you, mentors, for helping us, and thank the juries for taking their time and coming for this event.
Thank you so much, Anastasia. You've done a great job, and you took a challenge wherever you were, and luckily we concluded everything very well. Keep it up. So before we conclude, Professor, you have to say something, and then we say goodbye and enjoy our Christmas evening. We'll do some more fun.
Merry Christmas to all of you, and it's so happy to see the familiar faces of Unitalks members, Hiba, Mohammad Hassan, and Kauri, Mahashamshi, Abha, Dhyan, and also the new faces. When I think of my journey and of 2021 as a Global Unitalks mentor, it's really makes me proud how we could help to change the people and the students' life. A true example is Hillary. You could see where he also was one of like this, like a joy when he started in the beginning and the internet was an issue. But all the members of Unitalks have faced this problem, but they never gave up. This is one thing to be appreciated of their hard work and dedication, that you still keep trying to join and be part of Global Unitalks. And I wish and I hope to see all of you in the coming events of 2022. And we will participate and join many more events. Wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy holidays and season's greetings to all of you guys enjoying the snow. The backdrop is so pretty. I feel like I'm in Christmas now, truly, online, virtually.
Thank you, Professor Diana. Oh, I just got one question here. The question to professors, hosts, jury, speakers, a question for you all, where a lot of people I have to answer this. Since Generation Z is coming up in the world and is facing many mental health related issues, how to tackle them? Well, I think it's better this question asked by Generation Z should be answered by Generation Z. So speaker number one, host Abha Singh, what is your take on this question to the audience?
Thank you, Professor, and thank you for the question also.
Doctor.
So,
yeah, since you're a doctor student,
yes,
you
Professor.
study medicine, yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, since we study about this also a lot, but in upcoming generation, we see a lot of mental health cases, depression, anxiety, pain. We say that's as if I'll describe in a medical term, we say it's all inside. It's all growing it's all growing and going in our brain and in our neurons and how our brain interrupts the things, and it will go more deeper things. But then if I would answer like as a Gen Z, so I would just say that rather of tackling everything alone, we as a Generation Z have learned to grow alone. We are happy to call as a loner wolf rather than going for everything alone. Just try to have someone with you, try to have a lot of people in your journey, so you can share how you're feeling, so you can tell them you're not okay with this, how you can improve it. And the best way is start having your parents, your family, your elders and your friends in your life. Involve them what you're doing, tell them, make them aware about the situation, about the technology, and if they do not understand, make them part of it. They will for sure understand. And then rather of decreasing your rather of decreasing your interactions and discussion, try to be in this, especially in this situation like pandemic where we do not get to interact much, try to be a part of lot of social clubs like and online platforms, just like Global Unitalks, where we come, we talk, we discuss, we talk about our minds. Since we all belong to a similar interest, we can talk about it and we feel happy about it. So join more and more platforms of your interest, so that you can speak out, you can talk it out. Do not interpret any situation how it is. Try to sit down, calm, relax. Do not stress yourself. As I said earlier also in my speech, try to cherish the moment. Slow down your feet, slow down your heart rates. Everything is not about competition. Yes, you need to compete, but first you need to learn, calm down yourself, and then opportunity. As Professor Diana always says to me, that if you polish yourself, if you are very well organized, then opportunities will already come to you. This is the one thing I remember from the very starting. After my first speech, she told me, she was that thing I remembered, and I'm working on it, that I'm polishing my skill, and the opportunities will come. And Professor Wallace have been very wonderful to me, giving me opportunities after being such a mess. Thank you both of them. So this way we can deal with our mental health issues. And if I go more in medical terms, there is no such medicines or anything. If you really want to tackle this, we as a doctor also not advise. We genuinely believe that you should change your environment, your mentality to tackle these issues. And if you need professional helps are always there. Do not take any step without talking to any professional helps. They are always available. Just go and check in. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, speaker number one. To answer this question from my side is, as you said, you need to engage yourself in some groups which has a similar interest as yours. So you have to keep occupied, do something which is meaningful for you, which you enjoy. So interest group, focus group, or something like Global Unitalks, where you meet people from different parts of the world, interact, share their views, and try to, do something unique in your thinking process. And I think this is the first thing. Second, do sports, whatever situation you are in, do some exercise, gymming, which also helps your mind and it regenerate yourself. And there are some medical terms also on it, which helps you. And be positive. I think that's most important. So to end the last comment, I would like Mr. Cynical. He always say I'm Mr. Cynical. Speaker number 4. What cynical opinion you have on this question?
Right, I am cynical, but this reminds me, Hiba Ayub. I asked her this question a couple of, I think it was a class, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And yeah, so that's so anyways, like a few of our friends said, we should get along with people, get involved with other people in focus groups and whatever. A quote by Martin Luther King Jr. comes to my mind: if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. And if you can't do that, you find someone else to carry you. And I believe that that is extremely relevant in the difficult times that we are living in right now. And our journey shouldn't be alone. We shouldn't walk alone. We should have people helping us. Like in this example, for example, we have our little community here. Public speakers, all of us really skilled people. I am quite honored to be amongst you, all of you. And it's certainly this platform as well helped it improved my mental health a lot. I mean, I'm generally speaking, I'm in a better mood nowadays since I'm participating in these events and stuff. It's it's for the better. And yeah, that's about it.
I want to say,
yes, Professor.
Yes, this is very important. Don't be alone. Do not walk your journey alone. No matter which generation you are, as a human, we need a companion. And especially family is very important. Remember, guys. And the next one is your friends. You might be very close to your friends with whom you could discuss. So it's always better wherever you are, no matter whether now you're students, when you go out in the society, jobs and everything, you should be having someone whom you will be there always, who is with you and you are with them. Your family, friends. This is very important. And the second is the sports. Yes, to refresh your mind, you should do something. Sports is a good way. But the most important, I think, family should be with you, you should be with family. This is what I think. And keeping yourself engaged and busy in the activities what you like. So you'll not have so much of stress. This I could tell you.
Thank you, Professor. So as the saying goes, God help those who help themselves. So help yourself and keep positive. And I believe this 2022 will bring a lot of new things to all of us. So Wish you
New
all.
Year resolutions.
Yes. So, Ma Shamshi, what is a new Year resolution? You seems very seriously thinking.
I make New Year resolutions, and then in the first month only I break them. I'm like, okay, fine. Next year I'll keep one more resolution. That's what happens with me. But I think one of the resolutions would be to just right, maybe just focus on my work more, and instead of scattering so much across so many options, just focus on one path. Because this year I have had so many projects I've been working on. I've done this and that, but I've also multitasked. And I don't think I would want to do that next year. I don't want to multitask anything anymore. I just want to focus on one aspect of, for one long-term aspect, which would eventually take me there in the future. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just focus on one thing at a time, not multitask throughout my several things that I keep discarding myself across. So I don't want to do that in 2022.
Hiba seems very much agree with you. Hiba, what is your New Year's resolution?
I think maybe it's to focus on ourselves and to try to find a good reason for us to go forward. I think that would be the best solution, I believe so.
Great. So I think before we close, I see Mr. Victor. He need to say something. Mr. Victor, are you here? Victor, are you here?
Probably he might be joining on the panel.
Yeah, I know he just flagged me up. He want to say something. Yeah, Victor, yeah, you're here. So you're the last one to say something for this Merry Christmas and to all of us before we go home. The floor is yours, Mr. Victor. Open your microphone. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, are you talking to me? Sorry.
Yes, your last words before we close today.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I came late. Sorry.
Okay,
All
go
right,
ahead.
I just finished my class on the another video, so sorry about that. So I'm very sorry to have you keep waiting for a long time. First of all, actually, this is the end of the 2021, right? Actually, it's my honor. The first thing I want to say is my honor to be a member of Unitalks. Because I really appreciate, I have, the people around here, and I learn a lot, and even, I grew a lot from this group. And so, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry.
Yes,
I
very
got
clear.
it stopped. I just can't, everything is stuck.
No, everything is fine. You can go ahead. We can hear you.
All right. Okay. So on this special occasion, I just sent my best wishes to you guys. Merry Christmas. And also I would really appreciate the founder of the Unitalks, Professor Wallace. Thank you for inviting me here. And also Professor Diana. And also she's my teacher. She guided me a lot, not only now, but before. So I also appreciate the audience and the contestants. I really appreciate, and when you make a speech here, I can feel how hard you work, and your hard working pays off. And even I learned a lot from you guys. Okay, I hope we will have more things to do in the future, and I will join more events here. So thank you. That's all for today. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Victor. So let's close for tonight. Happy New Year, and we see you on 2022. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you for all being here.
Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye. Enjoy yourself.
Bye-bye.
Be positive. Have fun. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Good night. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you.